it made me look at like how the audience, how certain people look at success. They're like, Justin will never be successful if he doesn't get X amount of views. So their only metric of success is if you're getting enough views, if you're trendy enough, if you're hip enough. And I'm like, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Like, success is not about a number game. I'll be successful. I am successful if I have a healthy family, healthy relationship with my kids and my wife, healthy relationship with the Lord. And I've slowed down enough to create things that I'm proud of, and I'm not on this hamster wheel. I'm enjoying life.
Right.
That's what it's about. And a lot of people don't get it because they just see fame as like, that is success. Sure, in a way it is, but like, where does it lead?
All right, hey everybody, this is Jeff Allen, and this is Who Gave Jeff Allen a Podcast? That's still the big question around this studio. Who gave this to me? We're going to find you. There's 6 billion of you, and we're looking at you one at a time. Somebody owes me an apology. I'm coming back from the road, some little housekeeping things. Our sponsor is still, our only sponsor is Nordic Wave, the cold plunge company. You'll love it. I'm telling you, you'll love it. Find your inner Norseman. Get up in the morning, take a dunk, and it's exhilarating. But talk to your doctor because you may drop dead. That's not really a good pitch, is it? It just dawned on me. That's probably not a good thing. It could kill you. But for God's sakes, is there anything more exhilarating than experiencing near death? I mean, really. But anyway, just go to Nordic Wave, as if you would after that pitch. Go to NordicWave.com, type in Jeff150, save $150. Your wife could use the $150 to buy you some flowers for your tombstone. We haven't sold one. We have not sold one. This is probably why. We're looking for sponsors of something that I could actually sell. Would be kind of nice. We are into the wellness field. I'm looking for any new products you might have out there that you think I might like. I'll try them. If I buy them and I try them and I don't like them, I am going to trash you on my podcast. But if you send them to me for free and I try them and I don't like them, I just won't say anything. So I'm just saying, if you're going to force me to buy your product, then I will, because I will not pitch anything that I haven't tried and that I don't like. Honestly, I'm one of those people that I just have a hard time lying to anybody but my wife. I lie to her all the time. I'm kidding. I get that all the time. People are, are you serious? Just finished the road. I'm headed out again. I am coming all over the country. Just go to JeffAllenComedy.com. Sign on to my Facebook feed and as a fan, and we post calendars pretty regularly out there. And if there's a city you see in there that's not on the calendar, please reach out. We're booking constantly. We're already booking into 2027. I know I'm on my first final farewell tour. It looks like there might be a second one. I'm pretty sure. And we'll probably go up to 6 or 7 final farewell tours before I think you'll pick up on it. I'm amazed at how many people come to me after a show and say, "You're quitting? Read the poster." That's the problem with people. They just don't pay attention. So anyway, they probably lost you already after the Nordic Wave pitch. Anyway, today's guest, I'm looking forward to this. This is really out of my comfort zone. I know nothing about the thing he's in, man. He's a young guy, talented. And anyway, Justin Stuart is a co-creator of JStu. I like that. Not like J-Lo, but JStu. Stand up and let me look at your backside. See if you got money there, That's how she made her money,
no
man.
Money.
With the J-Lo backside. This is going to be an interesting podcast. It really is. I'm tired. I flew home at 4 a.m. yesterday, and I still have not got. I had a high sleep score today, 87, which for me the night before was a 43.
Did you dunk in the cold plunge?
No, I did not.
That's the problem.
I did do my workout though. I started with a new trainer, Dr. Trent Nestler. If you go back in the archives, Dr. Trent is on our podcast, and I now go to his studio and try to get my hips mobile so I can go out and I really have dreamt about being an Elvis impersonator, but you can't be Elvis, young Elvis, if you can't swivel your hips.
Yeah, Jeff Lowe.
J-Lo. Well, J-Lo's been taken. So G-Lo, J-E-L-O, G-Lo, swivel hips. All right. You are one of YouTube's most successful family-friendly channels with more than 11 million subscribers. That's huge. Over 3 billion views. And after years of building a massive audience and thriving in the creator economy, you made the surprising decision, and we'll talk about this, to step away from that success to focus on your faith, your family, and creating alongside your children. Man, that we'll really get into that. What began as drawing characters at the kitchen table with his kids grew into the Blobs graphic novel series, including the newly released second volume, Attack of the Glitches. Justin's story is about much more than YouTube. It is about fatherhood, identity, imagination, faith, and redefining what success really means. Welcome, Justin Stuart.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm very happy to be here. And
I wanted to do this pensive thing.
I know.
Oh, by the way, I want to mention I have attention issues. If you haven't figured that out by now, you're not a regular listener to this. But I've seen the comments, and apparently I interrupt a lot. And I'm working on that. I even have on a word written on here called listen better. I'm trying. So lighten up on you keep interrupting comments. I just interrupted him again so that I could tell him about it. But I want you to know, I interrupt myself. I'll have a train of thoughts going, and all of a sudden I'll just interrupt that and start thinking about something completely different. So if I interrupt myself, why wouldn't I interrupt my guests?
And why wouldn't I interrupt you? Because I have ADHD. So
all right, this ought to be really interesting. This is going to be another Reno, another Reno interview. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Reno Collier, this second one, man, follow that one, man, and I'll be impressed if you can follow that
Awesome.
with the two of us. But anyway, you had 11 million subscribers and billions of views, which really is anybody that gets into that space. That's what they dream about. And you were living it, and then you walked away from it. And what made you, was it a gradual thing, or just like one night you just sprang awake and told your wife, I can't do this anymore?
It was definitely a gradual thing. Over the 14 years of creating videos, I definitely had, I'd say, several smaller moments of struggle with, which I'm sure you could relate to, maybe with your career of comedy acts and stuff. It's like, what am I doing? Like, what do I want to be doing? Like, what do I need to change? I feel like I'm growing because, I'm 33. So 14 years ago, I started like 19. I've changed a lot over those 14 years, especially in that younger years because, got married, have since then had 3 children. So there's been these maturity shifts and life changes that have also kind of made me think about life a little differently and my future. So had many moments.
Did you go to college?
I went to Colorado Film School and I studied acting because ever since I was a young kid, I have dreamed of being in front of the camera in one way or the other, but definitely movies. I was drawn to that. And so
my parents called me a ham. Were you a ham?
Oh my goodness, yes. My mom also did not almost have my sister because of how insane I was as a kid, like a ham. She's like, I don't know if I can keep doing this mom thing because of Justin, running over, interacting with people all the time, crazy questions, energy. So
how does that go? Do you just go to the doctor? I need my eggs frozen because I don't want to risk
I know.
producing another one of these.
Oh, yeah, it was quite the journey, hearing the stories.
So is your sister anything like you? Because it usually works. God is pretty protective. If they give a parent one of you, they don't really want to double down. So there's usually one a little saner. And my sister's very level-headed. Well, my one sister's lost her friggin' mind in the last couple of years. I mean,
You got to have her on the podcast then.
oh, I can't. I can't. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. But
No, there's no doubling down with my sister. Yeah, she's like an entrepreneur, but very outgoing like me, but not as like I'd say as crazy and goofy. But yeah,
did she see what you were doing in the YouTube space and decide she wanted to do that? And
no, yeah, she went a different direction. She currently she likes like event planning and helping people create experiences. So she's more on like the hospitality side.
Oh, that's creative. Yeah.
Creative things, yeah. So creative
Well,
family
cool.
for
What'd
sure.
your parents do?
My dad's been with like the same type of work for most his entire life. Helped start this company and was the vice president of sales there with like computer chip manufacturing. Is like one of the things they do. And my mom, she was early on like a writer, but stay at home most of the time. Creatively though, she loved writing, taking pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a goal to be an influencer, famous? Because when we had our grandkids briefly for about a month or two, and we were dropping them off at the grade school. They were young, and just popped into my head. Of course, they were young. It's grade school. You know, well, my one grandson, not too bright. He was 16. He was in second grade. No, it was. But anyway, you walk down the hall. When I was a kid, if you posted something, what do you want to be when you get big? Every little boy said, you know, fireman, policeman, one of those, military, whatever. And 80% of them were influencers. That's what they want to be. Instagram, whatever, YouTube. So there's a generation coming up where this is the goal. Is that something that when you started out, again, to me, there are three things that drive any creative person, and that's the desire to do good work, the desire for fame, or the desire for money. But it all comes back to doing good work. I mean, now there are people who've gotten famous doing not very good work, but it's rare. You have to do quality work. So what was the goal? You just wanted to create something and then it went where it went, or did you have a plan?
No, I did not have a plan or a goal. I loved just being in front of the camera, and YouTube was at the time in 2011 a platform that we could upload the videos to share to our friends and family. And that was it. Because like before YouTube, my parents had the camcorder where you put the film in and close it. And I was making home movies with my sister and my neighbor friends and everything like that. And then I got a digital camera, and I can't remember how I stumbled upon YouTube, but that was a place of like, oh, we can make these skits and send them to the friends and family because I think they're funny and they'll get a kick out of it. But over time, as they grew, started getting views, it was like, oh, you could actually make money doing this. And like, so slowly and surely, we started to just be consistent and posting and figure out like what the audience likes. But even the first few years, it was still kind of just like this journey of not really still wanting to turn it into a business. And I wanted to be an actor. So that's why we went to film school. Cause I'm like, oh, I'd love to just be on the big screen. But YouTube then obviously turned into something. And here I am.
Wow. Now what did, okay. So you made money.
Yeah.
You're 19. So how long was it before you started really, that first check?
Oh, that first check. Yeah. I remember.
How old were you?
Oh, that would have to have been like, I'd have to look back, but maybe like two.
It's not a documentary. Just give us a ballpark.
3 years. I don't know. Yeah. Two or three. 2-3 years. Yeah. Cause we had to, at the beginning stages of YouTube, you had to apply to be a partner. You didn't just make money right away.
Right.
You still don't. But I remember applying, and then you had to hit that $100 threshold before YouTube would send you a check. And so I got the check and I still have it.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah. It was like $100 or something like that. A little over $100. And I was like, wow, like I'm making money on YouTube. This is crazy. And I even remember this other YouTube channel at the time that had like, I think 13,000 subscribers reached out to us and was like, hey, can you make a video for our channel and we'll pay you? And I was like, whoa. I remember sitting at the counter, talking to my mom, just like mind blown. Like I could literally be getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
So that was crazy times, the beginnings of YouTube for sure.
And at what point did the momentum get to the point where you go, holy cow, this is, I mean, you never dreamt. I mean, I'm sure you didn't wake up one day and go, I'm going to have 11 million subscribers. I mean, isn't that mind-blowing to think that there are 11 million people out there?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. I mean, you look at this, that's the metropolitan New York area. That's like every one of them, you know. That's pretty big, man.
No, it's mind-blowing to think about for sure. And it's been quite the journey. Once we started getting views, I remember our first viral video, because we were doing pranks to kind of start on YouTube. Yeah. And so our pranks started to take off, and getting our first viral videos, just like such a cool experience, and getting subscribers. I remember keeping track of like all the milestones of subscribers on the channel, showing like when we got 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 25,000. I put the date and everything. And it was really fun.
So we were talking a little earlier about the gradual. So when was the first seed that hit? Were you obviously you were married? Was it the first kid? And all of a sudden you think, what am I doing? I mean, again, you're working at home doing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't like me where I had to travel, you know, the guilt of being gone all the time. So what was the seed, the first that I want to do something different?
You know, it was probably like 7-ish years ago. Like, because for the first 7 years, I feel like, of our career, we did pranks, and then we created another channel, uploaded behind the scenes, and then we started uploading vlogs, like just filming our lives, then doing challenges, and then this channel starts taking off more than the prank channel, because we're kind of, you know, changing with the times and adjusting with YouTube's algorithm and everything. And I remember the first time I was struggling, I don't know if I was like in legalism, but definitely a legalistic mindset at the time, because I was like, I'm not doing enough on YouTube. I'm like just making goofy videos and
doing enough for what? Your faith.
I'm not doing enough. Yeah, for God, for the Lord. I'm just going out and doing these fort videos, but we're not sharing the message of the gospel. I'm not sharing my faith. And so I was being pretty harsh on myself and struggling a lot. And then I talked to certain people, and they were kind of giving me, I guess, advice that wasn't helping that. It was kind of adding to it. Like I remember one guy telling me, he's like, yeah, you're extending adolescence in the next generation. And I was like, oh, well. I mean, that makes sense.
Did you
like,
say, no,
I would tell him that. And so he'd almost affirm.
I'm rubber, you're glue. You know?
He kind of affirmed that in me. And like, it just made it more like increase, being like, man, I need to be like a preacher instead. Like that's God's work. But over the years, you know, in moments like that, I would constantly get reminded from fans when I'd meet them in person or through certain comments or direct messages, them talking to me about how I've impacted their life. Whether it be something simple like I was going through depression and your videos very much helped me. Or I'm going to church now because of you. And I'm like, I'm not even sharing the gospel or any scripture at all in our videos. I may be a little more vocal on Instagram, but I felt like I wasn't doing enough. But clearly, you see something in me maybe different. You see like a light, and that impacted you. And so thankfully, that didn't take me down or anything like that. But, you know, as things kept growing and we started building a team, because at one point, I think we've had 12 full-time people on our YouTube team, and we had it was a big production, right? We were doing overnights, traveling around.
You do live events?
We did. Not that often. They were very rare, but we did them. Those were some of my favorite times. But yeah, when we do like these overnights and our schedule is like all over the place, it was a struggle of adjustment, especially when you start having kids and you have other people who rely on you other than yourself. You know, if I'm just some single dude running around, it's like I could do this grind 24/7. But when you have a family who counts on you and they also need you, I'm like trying to look at it differently, being like, how do I adjust and like be there for them and not and create consistency with the schedule. And there's so much that goes into that. But yeah, I definitely started looking at life differently.
So walking away, was it exhilarating or terrifying, or a combination of both?
I'd say a combination of both in a unique way. It was exciting because I wrestled with this for, I'd say maybe on and off, like 2 years, like kind of struggling with this grind of the same thing week after week. But more so the feeding of the machine of YouTube. Because, you know, just like any business, you got to play the game if you want to succeed. And then you have the pressure of having a full-time team that you have to provide for. So it's like most people could be like, well, you could just do what you want. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's true, but we need to get views in order to be able to provide for our business and all the needs of an office, employees, benefits.
Yeah, speak a little bit about, because you mentioned the algorithms. We, you know, obviously I have a smart person sitting over there that does this for me, but they change them, don't they? They move them around. What creates, because as someone who has, you know, I have a number of followers on Facebook. I naively thought they were mine. You know, I thought they were my follow. But Zuckerberg owns them, and unless you do things, first of all, the way they want you to do them, and then two, pay for it. I paid for a lot of advertising. Did you have somebody that went in and figured all that out, or were you able to just, because you figured that all out on your own? And
We figured it all out on our own.
Really?
Because, yeah, when we started, too, there was no really blueprint for this because it was like more of a new thing. Like I got in YouTube at the beginnings, basically, of I remember at the beginning there wasn't really such a thing as like analytics, you know? So looking back 14 years ago compared to now, it's like YouTube is very much an algorithm analytics platform that if you can adjust and you want to hook the viewer. I wasn't thinking about that at all when we first created. It was like, I just want to, let me make a fun video that I want to make. Versus now it's like, is that video going to perform? No? Okay, we're not doing it. Do I want to do it? Yeah, but it's not going to perform, so we can't do it. That sort of kind of shift for us, because we built like we were building this empire, it had to operate differently than if you're just kind of creating on your own.
Right.
And that kind of, for me, took a toll on me because the grind of week after week making content, it was such a blessing, of course, so I'm not discounting. I have so many great memories, but I can't deny the fact that feeding the machine for quite some time can take a toll on anybody. I don't care who you are or what business you're in. It's going to take a toll, and you have to figure out how do you change? And that's the very question I had to address is like, what do I do about this? Do I change or do I not change? And most people actually don't change because they're too comfortable or they're too afraid of what's on the other side of change.
Well, I get that. I understand that. So the graphic novel, were you just doodling? And
Yeah.
Again, I can tell you honestly, I've never read a graphic novel, so it's probably your generation and younger. My grandchildren read them all the time. Matter of fact, I'm going to take your book to them. She's in camp right now, but I'll give it to her. When did you begin to think, you know what, I think I want to do this instead of this? I mean, it's funny. I just filmed a movie, and we got some stuff coming out. And people ask, do you want to act? And it's an interesting question for me because, one, I don't want to start a new career, but two, I'm in a place where I could move away. I'm financially set enough to where I could start something. And creatively, I find it interesting. I've always enjoyed the process of acting where you take written words and you make your choices based on, two different actors will look at the same words in the same scene and make different choices. That's the part of the acting thing I liked.
Yeah.
But to completely walk away from stand-up would be too terrifying for me. And at 70, I'm, old dog, new tricks. So you're making graphic now. At what point did you just did you talk to your wife about it, or do you think God just worked on your heart in the quiet moments where you're just going, I think I can trust you on this?
You know, these books also did not come from a place of I want to leave the YouTube channel and write books. It came from a place of dealing with this internal struggle of like, why am I feeling this way? So I'm going to put this feeling to the side, and I want to create like a kid again. Because how do kids create? They don't put themselves in a box. They don't think about the analytics. They just create what's on their mind, what's on their heart at the time. So I literally just got out my iPad and just started drawing. And, you know, my daughter and my son are sitting there and just having fun. I'm not like, I'm going to write a book series.
Wow.
And through that, I was having a lot of fun. And my daughter was helping me. My son, they're laughing. I drew all these different characters. And I'm not like some illustrator. And I didn't do the illustrations in this book, but I made all these characters in my style. And as they're helping me come up with the names, I'm like, this was so fun. I'm going to just write a story with it.
How old were your children?
That was 3 years ago. So my daughter was 5. My son was 3.
Okay. What kind of names were they coming up with? I love little kids.
You'll love it. My daughter. So at 5, one of the characters who actually, it's this guy with a mohawk here. I was like, what's his name? And she just says Goose Bob. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is how I want to create like a kid. Cause she's not overthinking it. And there are so many other characters that
you have to put it through a marketing team.
No, and I was
Goose
just
Bob,
like,
who are we going to upset with that? The geese, we got Bob. There's a lot of Bobs out there. We don't, yeah.
And I would take, I remember making a map of like this galaxy. It isn't in any of the books. It was just something I did. And I would make a planet and I'd be like, what's this name? And she'd say the name and I'd write it exactly how she said it. Even if it was like a normal word, I kind of would misspell it. Like, if she'd say like cheeseburger, she'd say it as a 5-year-old and like it kind of be jumbled up and I'd write it like how she said it. Yeah. And it made it just so fun and playful. And then when I got my notepad out, because I didn't use my computer, I'm like, I just want to get away from technology a little bit.
Right.
And I wrote the whole thing out on my notepad and it was like, it felt like the flow state, you know? I was just like, man. And then from there, I'm like, wow, I would love to actually turn this into something. And, even to this day, it's like I'm very, very passionate about this story. I never anticipated like that I would be like wanting to pursue this. I think what I am so passionate about now is storytelling, but creating art that I'm proud of. Not just creating something, but creating something that actually means something to me and that is impactful. Because coming from YouTube where you play the game, you are pumping out content that's just like think of a drawing. You're just like drawing something really quick and be like, all right, get it out. It doesn't feel like the art I want to create. Yeah,
because you're constantly under this gun of panic, and
pressure.
And I know comics like that they want to do a special every year. So you got to create an hour of comedy a year. It's hard. People that don't do stand-up, they don't understand. I think Carlin set out to do 1 minute a week. In a year, you have 52 minutes, he'd have a new HBO special. Doesn't sound like much. I'm going to come up with 1 minute of comedy a week that I'm going to put on an HBO special. But it is difficult. And when you put that kind of pressure on yourself, it takes the fun out of it. It becomes a business. And so you're sitting with your kids, and it's playtime.
Right.
That sounds like fun. And at what point did your daughter start getting an ulcer because she felt under pressure that she had to create stuff for you?
Thankfully, never. Because
Dad, I gotta come up with another name. Yeah. I can't.
10 minutes. I need 10 new names. I need a through story. What's the hook?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
What a joy that had to be, though.
Yeah, it's such a joy.
And then to see something that you guys created together.
Yeah, and to have them like a part of the process and reading this with them, seeing my daughter at night read the book and always ask me, because I created an audiobook version as well that's kind of like feels like a movie without the screen. There's sound effects,
Oh.
music, voice actors. I'm a few of the voices.
That's the way old time radio used to be.
I know, but it's so fun. And hearing my daughter be like, "Can we listen to the Blobs or can we read the Blobs?" I'm like, I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's like I didn't want to just put out a story that I felt was kind of I wanted to be like proud of it. And after I kind of moved out of the mindset of like, I'm just going to create like a kid to I want to actually turn this into something in a business because I'm an entrepreneur. I love the business side of things. Don't get me wrong. I then started coming up with all these ideas of like, how could this grow beyond just like a little book series? Like what toys could come from it? I could see a movie that could come from this. So I'm pursuing a feature-length animation from it as well. And I'm just having more fun now in this season post JStu.
So what, so did the lesson come from the children? I mean, to play like this? I mean, did you, because so many guys, I don't know. When I was in my 30s, I had 2 small kids, and I just felt weighed down and pressured. And it was a difficult season for me. So what did the kids teach you that YouTube never could have taught you? So you started in YouTube when you were a kid, basically 19. Yeah. And then you took on adult responsibility in your 20s. And now you're in your 30s, and you're thinking, so what did the kids teach you?
To always like remember to have fun and to not overthink. Because when I look back at the beginnings of YouTube, it was simply kind of that. It's like, let's have fun. We weren't thinking about the title and the thumbnail. And again, there's nothing wrong with like that part of the YouTube business because it's fun. Right. It's fun to be like, oh, this title and this thumbnail is going to work and it's going to get this many views. And if we do the hooks this way. So I'm not like just bashing on analytics and that way of thinking, but they just reminded me of do what gives you energy and joy and don't overthink it. They'd come up with all these drawings and just give them to me and be, Dad, look at my drawing. It wasn't some crazy Picasso that had all the balanced colors and contrast. It was like, I did a drawing. Are you proud of it? Yeah. Right. They made it for me. And same with me and my relationship with the Lord. It's like I'm creating, whether I eat, drink, or anything I do it for the glory of the Lord. And so how can I create like that in this season of intentionality and slowing down and creating for the love of it more? Yeah. So for the machine feeding.
Well, it's interesting. It just popped into my head. There was an old Tony Campola sermon where you imagine at the dawn of creation, when the sun would rise, like a little kid, like you know when you have little children and you toss them in the air, they go, "Do it again." Yeah. Toss them in the air, do it again. It's do it again, Papa. Do it again, Papa. And that's the way he described the creation. Every day the sun would rise, do it again, and the sun would set, and then it would be like, do it again, Papa. Do it again. And that sounds like what that's it. That is. It's just as a kid thinks. They just want to keep doing the things that bring them joy repeatedly over and over again. And over time, we lose that. And I see it all the time in younger people is the apathy and the boredom that this life has to offer. And you're here to say, and I'm hearing that no, try to grab that child inside of you and remember what creating was like. To walk away from what you walked away from when you did, like you said, most people will keep doing it until it just stops working, and now you're depressed because it's not working. Then what do I do? You had said something earlier that you felt like you had become a legalist. I don't know if that's what I hear. I hear you were honoring God's voice, and God will move us if we take the time to listen to it. And
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And so, what do you think kids see that the adults we miss?
I think they see a whole lot that we miss because they haven't been introduced to the things of this world that like move the needle. I think when you start adding in things that move the needle, it kind of can
What do you mean by
disrupt.
that?
Like when I think about the algorithm, when you start introducing things into the creative process, they can disrupt the imagination and the creativity behind it all. Because instead of just making something because of a cool idea, when you start introducing these other things like the hooks and how do we keep them watching at 10 seconds? How do we make them watch till the end of the video? Those aren't bad things, but they can, if you don't have the right perspective and slow down enough to kind of make sure you have the right mindset and everything, disrupt that creativity, I think. And the algorithm especially, I'd say no matter what the platform is, social media, the algorithm will disrupt your imagination and your creativity. And so we have to be very careful now, especially every generation, to not let it do that because it will.
So is that automated or is there human beings behind that? I mean, is AI just kind of taken over?
Both. I think both. I think they've developed, the social media networks have developed systems that their algorithms work a certain way, and AI, especially now, it can get in the way. And we see it all the time when you're looking on the feed. What does well? A lot of the times it's negative news. So people inherently end up putting out content that is shocking and negative because that is going to get people's attention.
I 100% believe that. I've said I've stopped watching months ago. Really, I gloss over things now, just because the paradigm is if it bleeds, it leads. So
yeah, that's good.
You got that. I mean, if that's your paradigm, what good can come from that? If you're constantly pumping that into your soul.
Yeah.
But again, it's created. I didn't even think about that. I mean, we're talking about your books and we're talking about what you created. But yeah, the entire news industry, they have to deal with the same algorithms and the same mindset. How can we hook them at 10 seconds? How can we get them to watch the whole 30 seconds? How can we watch them? So obviously, the more sensational it is, the more it moves the needle. And that's your words, it moves the needle. So amidst all of that, it's easy to become cynical and it's easy to become jaded. So obviously your faith is very strong. And the foundation to that, did that start as a kid or did you, find it later?
I grew up in a household that was faith. It was Christian my whole life. So I went to church with them. I did Bible studies at home. I remember going through this thing with my dad and his Bible study group, which, by the way, he's a big inspiration because he's had the same group of men for 30 years do Bible study, do life together with. And I think that's profound. And I'm like, every guy needs that. But he did this thing growing up. He called it man makers, where it's like they'd all get together and they'd teach us what it means to be a man. And I remember doing thankful journals around the couch with my family at a young age. We just write 10 things that we're thankful for. So there are little things across the board that I can't remember not being a person of faith.
That's so cool. Let's explore that. As a young father, do you do that with your children as well?
In different ways, and honestly, I can get better at that. I think I need to increase in those areas. But we do different things with them being young. They're 8, 6, and 2 right now. So we have our moments of deep conversations. But yeah, I definitely think the Thankful Journal is definitely one thing that everybody should do.
Oh, absolutely. We used to call it an attitude of gratitude in the 12-step programs. But yeah, and it was so funny when I first got into I was so cynical. And I would just say, it's a bunch of hogwash. Grateful for what? And I'm looking at a beautiful wife, healthy children, a job I love, and I go, grateful for what? It's nonsense. But you're absolutely 100% right. Do you guys pray together? In the evening?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pray together. And so my journey of faith has been just like any believer when you have a relationship with Jesus Christ, is this journey of sanctification. It's not like my life was changed day one by Jesus, and then all of a sudden my whole life changes, is this slow, like maturing, going from, like a baby drinking milk to then actually being able to chew on some meat.
Yeah.
And so I've had the ups and downs of that faith, but God and his sovereignty has always been there to show me like that he's been there, even when I've made big mistakes and used these mistakes as lessons. And I've been able to find my own relationship with Christ as I got older, because growing up, it's easy to just be like, I'm a Christian because my parents are, and they taught me and I believe it. But then until you move out and actually think, what do I believe in and why do I believe it, and own it, and being like, if I'm a Christian, what does that mean? What does it mean to be in a relationship? What does the gospel mean? What does salvation mean? Sin, understanding all these concepts and being like, wow, like, yes, that is who I am. And that is who Jesus says I am as well, and living in that reality. And so constantly growing and learning through that, and having a different understanding of things that I never was taught. So yeah, it's been quite the journey that I've been on.
Where did you meet your wife? When did you meet her?
Met her in high school. She's my high school sweetheart.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We've been together we've been married for over 11 years now, and been with her for probably 15, 16 years. So high school, she was a grade below me, like 9th, 10th grade. We're dating, got married at 21. She was
Holy
20.
cow.
Yeah. And we got 3 kids. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful that I was blessed to be able to date only one woman and be with only one woman for my whole entire life. So
man, that's
glory
amazing.
to God for that.
Yes. Yeah, glory to God for that, for sure. Your kids, do they do, obviously 8, 5, and 2, you keep them monitored on the internet. You don't let them. But for the parents watching this that have children, that the content you create is for that generation, the younger, and it's healthy, obviously. What advice do you give? Advice? I'm always hesitant to give advice to parents. The monitoring the children on the devices.
Why are you hesitant to give advice?
Because of the life I've led. I've made so many. I guess I should be able to. I could tell you the mistakes I've made. But I'm always hesitant to give advice to anybody.
Even if you've made mistakes, that's a big lesson.
Yeah, I could tell you the lessons I've learned, and
there's value in that.
There is,
Yeah.
there is, and based on some of the people who reach out to me, there is value in that. But I'm asking you as a parent, because my children came. The internet came along; they were already in their late teens, and it was AOL. If you wanted to download a picture, you could leave the room, make a sandwich, come back, and it would be a quarter of the way loaded. And then
How old are your kids?
They're 42 and 39, I think. So 6 years. And in the world of tech, 6 years is a huge a time frame. So again, we have grandchildren, and we try to keep them off the devices at our house because they get enough at home. And we just try to find things like old school stuff, play board games. Do you kids play board games?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
which one is a competitive? Every family has a competitive child.
I feel like it's my daughter. Yeah, she's always like super upset when she loses, which is great. I think we all have that competitive spirit in us. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem giving advice. I think with kids, absolutely, they should not be on the screens. It's fine if you're watching stuff as like a family and you're able to kind of be like, I'm not saying go Amish, you know what I mean? Like, but like, do not.
That sounds like a hip hop song. Going Amish.
Yeah. Do not give them a phone until they're way older. Like, stop with the tablets. Stop. I feel like so many parents are so lazy that I have no problem.
Oh, we're going to get hit on this one.
Well, whoever's
get
going to get hit, if they're leaving comments about that, then they're the lazy ones. If they're going to be upset, oh, don't call me lazy. What do you mean? Like, you have children.
This is going to move the algorithm.
Yeah. Nah, it's just truth. Like, if you're lazy with your parenting, then I'm sorry, you're doing it wrong. And what does Scripture say? Whether you're a believer or not, Scripture is truth. Train up a child in the way that they should go, and they will not depart from it. So how are you training them? If you're just like so lazy that, anytime there's something going on, I'm going to give them a screen and give them a phone. Well, then what result do you think that's going to produce? I
see it all the time. Like you're in a restaurant and there's a family of four, 2 kids. They're on the pads and the father's on the phone and the mother's just kind of staring off into space.
Brutal.
And you want to walk over and take the phone from the old man and just go, talk to your wife. It's hard, believe me. My wife and I have been together 40 years and there are times we go to dinner and she starts scrolling the phone. And
we've all been there.
It upsets me. I mean, it's like, we can't have a conversation. It's not often, but it happens, and it is annoying. But when I see the kids just sitting there, so we'll have the grandkids over, and they'll want to pull out their phone or something. We go, no, we're going to have a conversation. And you watch the eye rolls. I don't want to, Papa, yeah, we're going to talk, and it's interesting. When my kids were little, I used to shut the TV off all the time. We didn't have devices, we didn't have phones and stuff, but the TV was on. And I would shut it off, and I would say, laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling is an activity. It's a quiet voice. Yeah, I said, look at the ceiling and see what you see, And then times I'd go out and lay in the front lawn with them, and I'd go, we used to make look at the cloud formations and stuff. Anything but the box.
Yeah.
And again, we also let them watch hours of television. We just, again, it becomes exhausting. And you're right. It is there's a balancing act in there. What I heard about the telephone was if you're going to give your child, an 8-year-old, a smartphone, you might as well open the liquor cabinet as well.
Yeah, man, for sure. So I think parents just need to be a million times more intentional and present. And when things get tough, double down and figure out what's going on, and don't just kind of, like you're saying, hand them a bottle of liquor and be like, stop whining, stop doing that. It's like,
well, you wouldn't need the iPad if they were drinking bourbon. They'd be passing out,
So there you go. There's a hot take. It shouldn't be a hot take.
Well, what do you think is what we've lost as a culture, because everything is so been there, done that, boredom, bored. That's what I see all the time. It's just, the phone and the iPad allows us to give us the illusion we're not bored. But this is boredom.
Yep.
I
mean, you hit the nail on the head with that one. I think boredom is such a good asset. I'll often, when my kids will come up and be like, Dad, what do I do? I'm bored. I'm like, perfect. And they're like, what do I do? I'm like, you get to figure that out. Like, go outside. Go, do something. It's great that you're bored. And then she gets all frustrated. I'm like, be bored. Like,
it's also part of life. We're told we should not feel pain, that there's a pill for that. You're emotionally distraught. I mean, the first time I went to therapy, she goes, why are you here? And anyway, I tell her my story. I went from single and married to 2 kids in a year. Oh, no wonder you're stressed out. I went, really? I mean, I didn't even have a clue. I mean, there's a reason sometimes we're emotionally distraught. But if you're told that there's something wrong with you or wrong with that, and so boredom is, and I tell the grandkids the same thing. So what? Figure it out.
Yep.
We're not turning on the TV. And I can get away with that because we only have them for a day or 2.
Yeah. 7
days into that, believe me, I was a parent. I'll put them in front of the TV. So there's a balance in there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a balance. I think what's also being lost is imagination. So We need to get back to using our imagination. And how do you use your imagination? Getting off of technology. Yes, some people can argue that you can use technology or AI to your benefit, which I can't deny. Yeah, sure, there are ways you can do that. But I think getting back to just like being bored and using your imagination with nothing else involved, like simply going for a walk and just observing around, like slowing down enough to use the brain that you've been given and your experiences to come up with ideas and just daydream.
Yeah, you're an actor, so it was interesting. It just popped into my first acting class ever was in Los Angeles back in the 80s, and he said take a walk with a notepad and a familiar walk, something that you've done repeatedly, and write down all the things you never noticed before. I noticed a bank building that I never noticed. I mean, an entire building. I went, oh my God, that's an actual Wells Fargo. That I never noticed. And then it got to be a little more minutia, smaller things. But you're right. We kind of glaze through life, and we don't train that muscle. I'd be the worst witness ever if somebody ran in and robbed the place, because I wouldn't even really, unless I consciously make myself. So you're right. That is an exercise. Go for a walk.
Exercise too. I mean, that word of like, think of what is going to happen if we don't exercise our imagination, creative muscle. What happens? Atrophy. Do we want to be walking around like even our normal muscles, right? We don't know, but nobody wants to live a life with muscles that are atrophied and not used. But if you want to get better at it, you got to use that muscle. And if you're constantly on technology, constantly scrolling, constantly stimulated by things, well, sorry, you're heading in that direction, and you gotta switch quick before it's too late.
Yeah. So what does success look like to you now?
Success looks like being the best husband, father that I can be right now, and creating before my father in a way that feels, like a kid again, like having fun. Success is not, and I'm constantly learning that now, especially post YouTube, because like having millions of followers, millions of views, that can be a huge ego hit. And I had to like go through like questioning my where's my identity found?
Did you ever get envious of other people who had bigger platforms in the same genre, or were you one of the largest?
Oh, sure. I definitely got envious or jealous of other creators because I'm like, oh, they're doing that. I would get inspired and stuff, but knowing now post that, being like because I was getting comments from people when it ended about like, a lot of different comments. Got some hate comments. It was pretty brutal actually, and they were kind of revealing things to me that kind of opened up my eyes a little bit, where they're like, being like, your channel's never, because I have a personal channel, like your channel's never going to succeed. Like you shouldn't have left JStu. Your books are never going to succeed. I hope they fail. I was getting comments like that across the board. And so it made me look at like how certain people look at success. They're like, Justin will never be successful if he doesn't get X amount of views. So their only metric of success is if you're getting enough views, if you're trendy enough, if you're hip enough. And I'm like, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Like success is not about a number game. I'll be successful. I am successful if I have a healthy family, healthy relationship with my kids and my wife, healthy relationship with the Lord. And I've slowed down enough to create things that I'm proud of. And I'm not on this hamster wheel. I'm enjoying life.
Right.
That's what it's about. And a lot of people don't get it because they just see fame as like, that is success. Sure, in a way it is, but like, where does it lead?
Yeah, if it leads into the abyss, what point was it? And you hear that story constantly. I climbed the mountain, and it's lonely.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought it would be. It didn't fulfill me the way I thought it would fulfill me. To me, what's fulfilling in what I do is I love stand-up comedy. I love creating the joke, the setup, the punch, the whole process, and then getting that feedback because it's immediate. Unlike other artistic genres, there's nothing like stand-up where you just immediately, you know if it hit or it didn't, and you know if you've offended, you know if you, I mean, it really is, to me, which is why I've been at it for 48 years and I'm enjoying it.
The key thing you said there that I think most people often overlook is the process.
Right.
You enjoy the process.
Yeah,
That's
there was no
huge.
end game. I didn't look at it and say, I want to get here, so this is what I need to do to get there. I just wanted to do funny stuff. And then my life got out of whack and it affected everything. But creatively, you know, it's interesting. I want to have Foxworthy. We talked about reaching out to Jeff because he's my age. And he thinks creatively we're done at our age. And that may be true. I'm having a hard time writing premises. I may sit with my grandchildren, you know, and just say, what's funny to you? You know,
Great.
and just see what the 12-year-old and the 10-year-old come up with. And, you know, poo-poo probably, boogers. You know?
I know, yeah, all the
and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. But when everything's said and done, man, through all of this, in the end, I have a feeling I know your answer on this, but what do you hope remains when it's all said and done?
the biggest stage I'll ever stand on is in front of my family. So that, like, ultimately, I've missed the mark if they haven't been my priority and I've put other things above that. And so it's that constant, I guess, balance act, for lack of a better way to put it, of pursuits of like creative endeavors, like a book or a movie or whatever, while also making sure, am I present? Am I there? How do I ensure that I can do both well, lead well, inspire them, because I want them to go out there and want to do great things and accomplish awesome things.
Well, you're on your way. Just the fact that you can include them in the creative process in all of this. I can't imagine as a kid. You know, my father was an artist that denied that part of his soul to raise a family. And I always felt blamed, you know, for his inability to do what he should have been doing with his life, which was art.
Yeah.
And I sensed this resentment. And then when I got into comedy, he was the first one to say, do it. Do it. You don't want to be 40, 45 years old looking back going, I should have done that, which I think was his way of telling his younger self, I should have pursued my art. Later in life, he did. But the fact that you can include your family in, you're right. As an old man talking to a younger man, what you feed into those children, ultimately, at the end of your life, is what will matter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm playing severe catch up with my boys. I was gone their entire childhood. So believe me, what you're doing is, it's great work. I'm glad I met you. I'm going to keep an eye out on waiting for that movie.
Thank you. Yeah. That's the big dream. So
Yeah.
I'm pursuing it.
Your website, is it JStu?
No, actually, that was what our YouTube channel was called, but now it's just my name. I'm mainly on Instagram is my main platform. I have a YouTube channel as well. Both of them are just my name. It's Justin Stuart. But you can get my books on Amazon. But the best place to keep up with me is on Instagram because I am very more active on there.
Do you sell direct?
I don't. I actually have a publisher, so they help me with all this fun
What
stuff.
website is that on?
Amazon.
Oh.
You just Amazon, Blobs.
I just
Justin
don't want to
Stuart.
give Bezos any more money.
I know.
I always tell people, come to me after my show. Where can I get your book? You can get it on my website, or you can give Jeff Bezos your money. That's the way I frame it. I don't say Amazon. I say you can give Jeff Bezos your money. The trillionaire.
I know.
And Lord knows his wife needs more work. So,
oh man,
she just hasn't had enough done yet.
I've never even seen his wife. There's always Jeff Bezos stuff.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should have Jeff Bezos on to.
I would love to have Jeff Bezos on. I'd love to ask him how to me, Amazon, again, they're going after people like Elon and Musk and Bezos because of their wealth, but they took tremendous risk. I mean, I remember when Amazon started, and people thought, really? Come on, everywhere, everything. Come on, how are you going to ship it? How are you going to supply all this? How are you going to? And you just watch this thing take. I mean, to have the foresight, to have all of that, and take the risk. I mean, it could have tanked. He could have lost everything, like so many other entrepreneurs. And anyway, he had a home run. So God bless him. Same with Musk. Musk was this close to losing everything more than once.
Man,
And then Tesla. My God, what he had to go through with that. And now they come after him because, they're jealous. I don't know,
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm not coming after you, man. You're a creative guy. And I'm glad. Did you reach out to us? Did we reach out to him? How did you find this guy?
His publicist found us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So someone actually reached out to us for a change?
It happened.
Oh, my gosh, we're getting out there. The algorithm's moving. It's moving.
I guess so.
Yeah. You never heard of me, did you?
I actually have heard of you.
No, you haven't. Admit it.
I don't know at what point, but I was like, oh, I feel like I've seen you before. And this is a fun fact. Do you know we share the same birthday?
June 5th?
June 5th is my
my
birthday.
God.
So happy late birthday.
That's right. I was 70.
You
and
were.
this-
Now you're 71?
Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody I'm 70 from here on out until when I say I'm 70, they go, right.
Give or take.
They won't believe it. So I'm just going to say, that's it. I'm freezing. I'm cryogenically putting myself into a state that I will be 70 from here on out.
Hey, that's a good
Nordic
call.
Wave.
With Nordic Wave. Yes, by the way, don't forget NordicWave.com and make sure your wife is standing by so she can call 911. This is not working out. I need a sponsor. Arcos Golf. We were going to reach out to them. Arcos. We can hashtag them. Arcos. I use your product. I love it. The AI thing on the golf course. It's fascinating. I would love to be a pitch man for your product.
Okay, if you're a sponsor for my book, what would you do?
I would say this Blobs is the greatest book my grandchildren and I have ever read. We every night we go read this. We read scripture, and then we read this in that order. I'm going to read this. I really will. I can read this.
It's really
Goose
fun.
Bob. All right, you weren't kidding.
Goose Bob. He's
First
great,
name
man.
I come to is Goose Bob. I would say if I was a pitch man for this book, this is something you could sit with your children and your family and read together, and especially if it's on video. What I like is the audio. As praying with your kids and then sitting and listening to it. I used to love playing old time radio for my kids. Because of the sound effects and it creates in your mind.
Yes,
you're allowed to. I grew up on FM radio, and they had some of the most sultry voiced women. Hi, this is FM 109.
Yep.
And you create as a kid in your head. And then the first time I laid eyes on one of them, she's wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt, no makeup. I go, you can't go out in public. You need to hire somebody that looks like your voice to go out because it was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
But again, listening audio, not visual, you get to create inside your mind. And it's funny. I just started watching old Johnny Carson reruns and really enjoying them. Stuff I grew up on from the 70s.
Yeah.
And I realized I know all the guests. I know every last one of them. Sammy Davis Jr., to Rodney Dangerfield, all these people that I grew up watching, celebrities and actors and whatever. If I turned on Jimmy Fallon tonight, I wouldn't know anybody that was outside of Fallon. I wouldn't know him.
Yeah.
But the actors, actresses, I've moved on. I don't follow it that much. So I would read your book to my grandchildren before bed, and actually I'll give this to them because they're old enough they can read on their own now.
I think they'll love it. I'm obviously biased, but like I'm very proud of the story and the audiobook. Again, it's such a fun experience. I had the funnest time creating that.
Well, I'll get the audiobook. I will purchase that on Amazon.
Or it's on Spotify. It's on Audible.
Oh, it's on Spotify?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're good too. 8 billion views. You get a check for $122.
No. I know they're sharing the load.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get it on Spotify then. I like, not that I'm against Jeff Bezos. We have a movie on Amazon Prime. Oh, I should mention that. Amazon Prime, My Seven Grandmas.
Yeah, shout out Jeff Bezos then.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos. But you know what's funny? We can't get the actors' names on the thing. So if you typed in Jeff Allen on Amazon Prime, my 2 dry bar specials would come up, but the movie won't because they won't let us put our names in the credits.
Why?
That's a great question.
You did a movie too.
We did a movie, My Seven Grandmas, but you have to type in My Seven Grandmas on Amazon Prime to see it, not
You did
Jeff
that
Allen.
recently?
Yeah.
Is it a great movie?
It's a good movie.
I got to check it out then.
You should. You can sit with your family. It's a faith film.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you're doing more?
We just did a pilot for my book. We gave it away. Man, things I find out, Somebody's fired. Somebody is paying for that.
There's 2 people in this room.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
so anyway, we just did a pilot episode for television based on the book. Really, I think we got something. Carolyn would vouch for that. I think we have a good story to tell. And again, I like telling stories. So it's a dramedy. There'll be some comedy mixed in with the dramedy.
Well, hey, if you
Probably not for an 8-year-old, but
that's fine.
they can learn from my mistakes. Would be good. Don't be like Jeff. That's what you can sit with them and watch my show and go, don't
be like this guy.
Just don't Jeff your life up. Hey, maybe that could be my own sponsor. That's right. Don't Jeff your Christian, our tech guy, getting married, is engaged. You gave him some wonderful, wonderful advice today about prioritizing when he has children. And
Indeed.
I think he's a good young man. I hope I listened better. I didn't interrupt that much. I tried not to.
Yeah, let's leave Jeff some nice comments. He's going to be looking through the comments.
I'm not. I don't read them.
All right, well.
I catch them periodically.
The producers are going to inform
Carolyn gets angry for me. She reads them, and she does.
You need some encouragement, guys. Come on.
Yeah. My favorite comments are when they call you names.
I know.
Well, that'll win me over.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel better now.
Thank you so much for that.
Subscribe, hit the button, and share this with your friends and family. And please buy the book, especially if you have young children. A lot of people my age don't understand graphic novels. Is that what this is called?
I guess you call it. There's a lot of words, a lot of pictures too, though.
A lot of pictures. Oh, pictures. My God, now I can read this. Oh, I'll read this now. But our generation doesn't understand this, but trust me, every kid, my granddaughters are 13 and 12. This is all they read. They read these things. And this is a positive, upbeat story. There's a lot of them out there that aren't. So be very careful. It looks like a cartoon, and some of them are pretty dark and twisted, right, young lady? You know this. Because a parent of a teen.
We all know.
Yeah. So these are positive, upbeat, and family-friendly. The audio as well as on Spotify.
Yeah, the first
all
two.
Of the platforms.
There's two.
First two. There's
first
two
two
of them.
books.
First two. So please support this guy, man. He's good at what he does. And not only that, he's a good father. Not lazy like me.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
I'm going to... My wife and I sometimes will eat dinner with the TV off, and we look at each other and go, "This is going to be a rough one."
As long as you're laughing with each other.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't laugh with that woman. I'd probably let her kill me.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff.
Thank you for coming out. I hope this was pleasant for you.
Yeah. I love doing this stuff. I love media. I love YouTube.
Well,
interviews. I mean, it's great.
You're a good-natured man.
Thanks.
And anyway, I'll be dead in 10 years. So.
Well,
say goodbye to your fans.
I will.
No, that'll be then. I'll be dead.
Goodbye, everybody. I'll be out on the road. I will be out on the road. This was a rough couple days I've had. I got home anyway. I called my manager, told him no more 3:30 a.m. wake ups. It wipes me out for a couple of days. So anyway, I'm out there on the road. JeffAllenComedy.com. I can't thank you enough for all of you who come out to the live shows. It really feeds my soul in a positive way, and I hope that you get fed the same way, because we're all out there just to make you laugh, man. I know what I am. I'm a distraction. So come on out and get distracted with me, and my opening act, Joel Beasley, has been coming out with me, and he's having a good time. So that's all for today, and next week. We'll see you next week. God bless you.